Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Welcome to the Grow Tent, everybody. You have found the best one channel on YouTube, man. The place where we simplify the approach for you so everyone can learn how to grow. We make it so simple, even I can understand. So I'm going to listen and learn right now.
Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Grow Tent. Today we got a great episode for you. We're going to be talking about regular versus feminized seeds, and as you, as a new grower, which one should you go for? Are certain ones worth more money than the others? Should you pay it? Which should you do? What are the pros? What are the cons of doing each, or growing each, or taking your time with each? So we're going to talk about that today. But first, as always, the intro. Everybody's favorite part. I know it. You know it. If you don't like it, skip it. They're like a minute, 2 minutes long tops. There's a nice fast forward bar right at the bottom. If you don't want to hear it, just fast forward. All right. So let's go. Guys, we got a crazy deal on the Patreon right now. For the next 3 months in a row, October, November, and December, if you're joined the VIP, we have 3 feminized bird food drops coming up in the next 3 months. Month of October is Grape Cherry Punch. Month of November, yeah, that's the next month. Jesus, month of November is Strawberry Mimosa, and then December is Woo Berry. So make sure you join the Patreon. You don't want to miss out on this. I'm telling you, best Patreon in the game, baby. There's only a few spots left. I think there's only like 14 spots left for the VIP program, so you might want to jump on it while you can, because you don't want to miss out. What else we got? Guys, if you haven't followed my Instagram yet, what are you doing? Go follow it. I still post pictures, tons of pictures of plants, that kind of stuff right there. Guys, the contest, the grow off for the belt, baby, and to be my first podcast guest, and for a $1,000 sponsorship from the channel, because we can't and don't give out cash prizes. It's getting ready to really kick off. Seedling's going on right now, so there's not really much fun in showing seedling videos. I think I might do a week 4 seedling video from the people who've been sending in their pictures to the contest like they're supposed to have been doing. Why is this vibrating? This isn't even connected to anything. All right. But if you haven't been, it's wttgtcontest@gmail.com. You're a little late to get started with it now, but hey, that's the contest email. But guys, veg starts October 7th. So we're getting ready to go from our cubes or from our solo cups, whatever you've been hanging out in, into our 1-gallon pots on October 7th. And then we get to start sharing the really cool videos of everybody training their plants and everything. I'm so freaking stoked. Okay, this intro's taking way too long. Guys, remember to do check out Mars Hydro right there, main sponsor of the channel. Remember to check them out. And if you want to use code WTTGT, that would be fantastic also, because we do get a kickback. All right, let's go. Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Let's get today's episode started. The intro is out of the way. It's time to talk about the main subject of the day, which today we're talking about seeds. I know YouTube and Susan really love it whenever we do that, but here we go. Okay, so we're going to be talking about you as a new grower. You might not know the difference between regular, feminized, autos. You might not know the differences, and even if you do, we might be talking about some pros or cons today from each that you might not have known either. Man, what little hair I have messed. It's hard for me to have a bad hair day, but you know, sometimes I can still pull it off. All right, so the first things we're going to talk about, we have 3 different types of seeds we're going to talk about to you as the beginner that you might not know about. So whenever you're going to be looking to purchase some in the future or being given some from somebody, there's 3 distinct categories. So the first is regular, which is just you can get male and female plants from regular seeds. If you didn't know, you can't get any buds from the males. They are only good for checking pollen, and that's it. So if you are not looking to do that, we definitely don't want any males. The second style is feminized, which are still the same photo period genus, but all the seeds are guaranteed to be girls, which is bonus. These seeds are, of course, more expensive. And then the third style of seed you can look at and find are called autoflowers. Autoflowers are their own kind of separate area. They just, unlike photoperiods where you have to change the light from 1212 or from 18:6 to 12:12 to get them to go in flower, the autoflowers do that all by themselves. They decide how long they want to be in veg, and then they flip themselves to flower. It's not hard. I mean, to go from your lights 18:6 to 12:12 takes about a half a second on it with the once you get to know your timer. But the autoflowers do that all by themselves. So why is there a price difference between them? Because if you'll notice, there's a pretty gigantic price differential between autos, feminized, and then regulars. Regulars will be the cheapest. Your feminized will be pretty much right there with your autoflowers. Sometimes the autos are a little bit more expensive. Sometimes the photo periods or the feminized photo periods are a little bit more expensive. Really depends on who you're getting them from, the genetics, the name, the hype behind the name at the moment is really the driver of the price. But there is a pretty substantial difference between just the regulars and like feminized photos, which is the main parts of the topic we're going to be talking about today. And with the reason that they're more expensive is they require more work to make. Whenever you're making the feminized, it's a lot more effort. Because I know if I'm growing regular seeds, I just keep males and females in the same plant. I'll put the male plant right in front of the fan. He'll blow pollen all over the rest of the garden, and you're done. Whenever you're making feminized seeds, you are taking the male plant out of the picture. I know. Us males always getting thrown around. So you're taking the male plant out of the picture, and you're going to be making pollen with only mothers. So only female plants are going to be making the pollen, because we're going to be using a process like rodentization if you want to do it lengthy way, or you can do processes like STS spray or colloidal silver. They both work great. I've done them on the channel in the past. They both work fantastically. So whenever you're dealing with choosing between regular and feminized, we're going to talk about why they're more effort to make. Two, there are some pros and cons to both though. So with a feminized seed versus a regular seed, your regular seeds are going to be cheaper, but you don't know your ratios of males to females you're going to get. So it is a pretty big downside. And a lot of new growers are really, really scared about getting males in their garden and it pollinating the whole tent because they're not going to recognize it at first. If you're a new grower, I'm going to tell you right now, do your very first run ever with regular seeds. The reason I say this is everybody's scared that they won't be able to tell the difference if they got males in their gardens. Grow regulars first. Just their very first grow. Just grow regulars, and I promise you, you'll never have to worry about not knowing what a male looks like, because as soon as you see it in person, you're looking at a picture on the internet, one thing, but as soon as you get to week 2 flower and you see it in person, like, oh, these are girls and these are boys. It's extremely evident, and that's a really big learning chip you can put on your shoulder, feather, put in your cap, whatever anecdote you want to, or analogy you want to say with it, but it's a giant stepping stone for you as a new grower to learn, be like, oh, I can easily, I've seen it with my own eyes, not on some internet picture or some guy talking about it. I've seen it, and my bulldog has, Bella, that's a book. It's a hardback book. What are you doing? She's eating a book. What are you doing, girl? Hey, come here. Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? We don't eat books. Hey, we don't eat books. All right? No book eating. Say hi to everybody. Hi. Mwah. No more books. That's disgusting. That's a hardback too. She's so rotten. All right. So you'll see it with your own eyes, and then you'll know it for a fact. These are boys. These are girls. I never have a problem not knowing what it is, and you've learned it on your very first grow. And then plus the stuff is really cheap. Now, can you get some shitty odds? Yes. But I'm saying do this as a teaching tool your very first time, and then you can move over to feminized if you want, pay the extra for, getting the feminized stuff. But is there downsides to growing feminized over regular? Yeah, there are a few, not many, but there are a few. One is the cost. They're double the price unless you're on somebody's Patreon because I think they give them out for free. They're double the price anywhere you go. Regulars are extremely cheap. Feminized, because they're a lot more work to make, way more expensive. Now, whenever you're growing regs, it's a lot harder to herm those seeds from stresses that you new growers are going to put on them. It's literally like 90 times harder to herm. You can still do it, light leaks and stuff like that. You can still pull it off. I know you can. But it's a lot harder to herm them over the feminized, because technically all feminized seeds come from a hermed plant. Now, if you're doing it correctly, not from a stressor like light leaks, overwatering, overfeeding, anything that you're doing bad to them, they don't herm as easy as coming from a normally hermed plant. But they still do have a slightly higher chance to herm just because they come from hermed plants, but done correctly. So there is a slight elevation in that chance, but if you're growing correctly, you're listening to old GT or whoever your favorite grower is that happens to be doing you right. It's a very minimal chance. But whenever you're growing with regs, it actually becomes rather difficult. So if you're tired of, you don't want to listen to anybody, but you're growing the way you're growing and you keep ending up with seeded runs, try a regular run next time. I'm telling you, I know you're like, oh, but I might get males. I know, that's icky males. But I'm telling you, if you've had a problem with this, you can switch over to the regulars, grow them out, keep just the females, and go with it. And there's a chance that the shitty things that you're doing to stunt and hurt your plant to cause it to herm, with regular seeds, you can somewhat avoid and have a better outcome. Now everybody's like, well, what if I get bad odds? Whenever they'll say you got a 10-pack, it's possible you could get 9 males. That has happened to people. I've seen people go 10 for 10 with males. Very rare. Usually it's about a 50-50, 60-40 mix. And anybody that tells you, oh, you can look at the back, and if it's oblonged or rough, it's going to be a female, but if it's a perfect circle, it's going to be a male. Dog shit. That is dog shit. We've proved it on this channel. None of that stuff works. Do you know why? Because if that stuff was real, no company would ever just sell regular seeds anymore, because they could just look at the backs and be like, oh, female, female, double the price, double the price, double the price, double the price, double the price. You see what I'm saying? That's crap. That doesn't work. Okay, you can't look at it and tell it does not work. The earliest you'd be able to tell is let it pop, grow it into a small seedling, take a clipping of it, and send it in to have it tested. That stuff for those hogwash, junk, malarkey, bullshit. All right. Oh man, they're gonna zap me for the word BS right there. Hey, what are you gonna do? All right. Do I have anything else? How they're made? Francis Hurry? No. I think we've pretty much covered it. Don't ask me about the autos. If you're a new grower, you probably shouldn't be growing them. They can be a little difficult. They can be a little temperamental. Do yourself a favor. Start with photo periods. And then if you're feeling fun one day, then you can move on to the autos. I'm telling you, you'll have better luck with a photo period, whether it is feminized or regular. You'll have way better luck. All right, I hope everybody has a good, I'll probably drop this on Saturday. So have a good Saturday, and we'll see you later. Remember to check out my Snake and Python channel if you've made it this far in the video. We just had our first clutch of eggs, so that should be dropping this weekend coming up also. And I'll see you guys next time. GT, out.